March is the month where Tucson stops explaining itself. This is when the weather is perfect, the city feels alive, and people who came here just to visit suddenly start asking bigger questions. Questions like, could I live here? Would my weekends really look like this? Is this the pace I've been missing? And for a lot of people, the answer becomes very clear in March. So today I'm walking you through what's happening in Tucson in March 2026 with exact dates, what each event actually feels like, and why this month is such a turning point for people thinking about relocating, buying, or even staying longer than planned. This isn't a calendar. This is the experience of March in Tucson. A quick note before we dive in. If you're planning a visit, relocating, or trying to understand where you might fit it in Tucson, text me at 520-980-9880. I'll send you my relocation, buyer, or seller guide depending on what you need. I help people just like you figure this out every single month. All right, let's talk about March. March mornings in Tucson start cool and quiet. By midday, patios are full, and by the evening, the city is humming. This is the month where Tucson feels social again, but not chaotic, active, but not rushed. And the events this month show you exactly why people are falling in love with the living here. The Tucson Festival of Books completely transforms the University of Arizona campus for the weekend. Tens of thousands of people show up, authors, speakers, families, students, retirees, visitors, all moving through campus at a calm, curious pace. But here's why this matters if you're thinking about Tucson as a place to live. This event highlights the thoughtful, intellectual side of the city. People sitting on lawns listening to speakers, parents walking kids between tents filled with books, friends meeting for lunch and staying for hours. It's relaxed, but it's energized, busy, but not overwhelming. For a lot of people, this is the moment they realize Tucson has depth beyond the desert. March wouldn't be complete without St. Patrick's Day, and Tucson celebrates it in a very Tucson way. You'll find Irish pubs packed with live music spilling onto the patios, and people bar hopping through downtown and 4th Avenue. There are bagpipe shows, green drinks appear everywhere, and the city feels playful. This isn't a massive parade-style event. It's more social and more spontaneous. People gather in neighborhoods, meet friends downtown after work, and turn an ordinary Tuesday into a full evening out. For newcomers, this is one of those nights where Tucson feels immediately welcoming. You don't need an invitation, you literally just show up. And those casual, unplanned nights are often what make people feel like they belong here. Just days later, 4th Avenue takes over. The 4th Avenue Street Fair is Tucson and its most creative, expressive, and unapologetically local. For 3 days, the entire corridor becomes a mix of art, music, handmade goods, food, and people watching. Local artists line the streets, musicians play between buildings, food vendors fill the air with familiar smells. This event is busy, but it's super joyful. It's the kind of place where people wander without a plan, run into friends, and stay longer than expected. Trust me, I know, I've been there, I've done it, I love this event. Visitors often leave the weekend saying, I didn't expect Tucson to feel like this. And locals, we just smile because this is exactly what Tucson feels like when it's at its best. While 4th Avenue is buzzing, something very different is happening just east of Tucson. The Cochise Country Fair in Vincent brings together livestock shows, local vendors, families, and generations of Southern Arizona tradition. This event feels grounded, ranch-rooted, proud of where it came from. And if you're drawn to acreage, ranch properties, or a slower, more connected lifestyle, this fair resonates. It's a reminder that Tucson is surrounded by real working communities, not just neighborhoods, but regions that value land, animals, and long-standing relationships. For many people considering rural or ranch adjacent living, this event feels familiar in the best absolute way. March also carries a steady sports and movement energy across the city. Spring training overlaps. Cycling events ramp up, college sports are in full swing, trails are busy early in the morning and again at sunset. Even if you're not attending games, you definitely feel it. Restaurants are lively, neighborhoods are active, and people are outside again. Lifestyle isn't just about special weekends, it's about how normal days feel. And March shows you Tucson's rhythm clearly. The month wraps up with one of Tucson's most iconic events, El Tour de Tucson. Cyclists from all over the country descend on the city. Streets fill with spectators, restaurants are packed afterwards. There's a real sense of shared energy across Tucson for the entire day. Even if you're not riding, this event shows you something very important. Tucson is an active city, an outdoors-oriented city, a place where health, movement, and community matter. For people considering relocating, El Tour often seals the deal. It shows what life here feels like, not just what it looks like. Here's the part most people don't talk about. March is when people subconsciously decide if Tucson fits them. Not based on listings, not based on price points, but based on weekends, evenings, and community. This is when people test neighborhoods at different times of day, drive times during real activity, how social or quiet an area feels, whether the lifestyle matches their pace. March doesn't hide anything. It shows you Tucson for exactly what it is. So, if you're planning a scouting trip, March is the month I tell people to come. If you're already here and thinking about buying or selling this year, March is when momentum starts building. And if you just want to experience Tucson at its best, this is your window. If you want help planning a visit, understanding neighborhoods, or figuring out whether you fit in the Tucson market, text me at 520-980-9880. I'll send you the guide that fits you best, buyer, seller, or relocation, and we will go from there. It's a no pressure call, just clarity. Before you go, drop a comment and tell me which March event feels most like your vibe. Books, art, ranch culture, cycling, or St. Patty's Day patios. I read and respond to every comment. I'm Meg Estes, your AZ homegirl, and I'll see you out there this March.